Chicago's L. More than 160 kilometers,
100 miles
of rail spread over a total of 8 lines run through the city, transporting almost 250,000,000 people each year. Regardless of its importance, major issues persist with Chicago's commuter rail. One of these, riders feel unsafe.
I honestly didn't have the greatest experience with it.
That's Anastasia Lantsova. She's a freshman at Northwestern University, but grew up in Moscow.
I don't feel safe. There are so many homeless people on the trains. For me, personally, it's really intimidating. I don't know what to expect from them because I never lived in this country before.
A recent spike in crime has resulted in increased patrols on the Red, the Chicago Tribune reported last month. This comes after crime statistics were released in 2019 showing that violent crime on the L system has essentially doubled since 2015. Gretchen Falishek, a Chicago native, says that while the CTA might not be the most comfortable of places, it's important to remember that it's not a war zone either.
We're not the murder capital of the world or whatever.
She is very familiar with the CTA's trains because
I went to Chicago Public High School, so I took the CTA every single day. I've just grown to be comfortable with it. Like, you just have to be aware of what's going on around you. If I take specifically the red line in the middle of the night, I don't just listen with my headphones on. It's not just like the middle of Iowa where everyone knows each other. Just be aware of where you're going and you'll be completely fine.
Gretchen, too, has had her fair share of uncomfortable encounters on the L.
I've had guys come up and talk to me, or people who are blackout drunk just fall on me.
All that despite the CTA having installed a whopping 32,000 cameras, 9,000 of which were added in the last 5 years alone.
The CTA stations are really intimidating. In the night, no, I don't like being there when it's dark.
While the safety issues on the CTA are commonly known, the agency is struggling to get them under control. Stagnating ridership numbers on trains in the last few years are a warning sign for the country's third largest city, especially considering an increase in ridership in most of the US's other major metro areas.
The CTA did not react to a request for comment.
Chicagoans, meanwhile, have adapted.
I feel I'm just desensitized to Chicago violence. Maybe it's just because I've always lived here, but I'm just suck it up.
I'm Linus Hoeller, reporting for Middle.